I've travelled by plane, train and tram to get here, so I've earned the right to sample one of Bavaria's great gifts to the world. Do you know, I fancy a drink. And if I'm in Bavaria, that can mean only one thing, can't it? That's a beer. But I want a proper, great, big, traditional one. Frothy and foaming at the top, and I want it in a big, old, traditional beer hall. There are over 200 beer halls and gardens in Munich, some seating up to 8,000 people. It's a culture that was born here. So I'm meeting beer hall manager Toby to learn a bit more about them, and he's organised a treat for me. That's lovely.
You like it?
I love this.
Yeah.
This is what I wanted. Look at this. This is beautiful. The origins of this temple to beer date back to 1589, providing food, drink and music, of course. That is fabulous. This is the music I expected to hear.
You're the heart of, the beer tradition in Munich. The music plays a very big part, and they can even control, in some sense, how the public behaves in some ways. When it's very quiet, when it's very slow, they can bring up the mood. Play a little stronger. When it gets too wild, then they play more quiet songs.
But it's not just about crowd control. This music is also a celebration of Bavarian culture. And I've been offered the best seat in the house for a performance of one of the region's most loved traditions. Whipcracking originated in the foothills of the Bavarian Alps nearly 300 years ago. And today there are still many competitions and clubs for whip snappers. Whoa! Can I try the... Yeah? Really?
It's difficult.
Whoa! Cool, this is frightening me. I think your whip is broken. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm not sure they'll be signing me up. But downstairs, the basement hall is starting to fill up. And I'm ready to get my hands on one of the 10,000 steins of beer they serve daily.
Prost!
Prost! Cheers!
Prost!
That's good. It's cold and it's wet and it tastes great. What makes this place famous?
This was the brewery of the Duke and of the King. It's the Royal Hofbräuhaus in former times.
This was the Royal Brewery?
Yes.
In here?
Yes.
These beer halls are a fantastic thing. I've got a real soft spot for them. What's the culture here?
In the basement of the Hofbräuhaus, you cannot make a reservation. That means if we would come today, sit here, some strangers would probably join us at this table. You would have beer, you would listen to music, you would start a conversation with strangers. You would get to know some people.
It's a social balance.
Yes, yes it is.
This beer hall has its own butchery, bakery, confectionery, and of course its own brewery. Can you try to explain to me what beer means to the people of Bavaria, to the people of Munich?
Beer stands for a whole kind of living culture. Music, being together, talking together, having a good time together.
3,500 revellers can fit into this beer hall, but not many of them get given the opportunity to join the staff and serve up a stein.
Our waitresses carry about 12 mugs. Our waiters carry up to 18 mugs. Let's start with 10.
That's 10. I can't get my hand in all of those. Oh, your thumb. Whoa!
Good.
Whoa, mate!
Yes.
Yeah. We got beer. Did you order 10 beers?
Ist das Ihr Schlüssel, den ich hatte?
Here, have some beer. Have some beer. Did I do okay? Yeah. Yes. Bavarians are definitely proud of their strong heritage and food culture. But, as with everywhere in Germany, there is a dark part to their past. And here in Munich, it's darker than most, as this was the birthplace of the Nazi Party. And this afternoon, I want to find out how this local group of extremists rose to power in a Western democracy. So I've met up with local guide Alan Evans in Odeonsplatz. Is there a reason why we're meeting here?
When the Nazis were around in the early 1920s, something very, very significant happened around this location where we are right now. The beer hall putsch, which took place on November the 9th, 1923, was a failed coup by the Nazis.
Tell me about this.
2,000 Nazis left from a beer hall called the Bürgerbräu Keller, armed, probably fueled with alcohol as well, marched into the centre of the city with the goal of taking power by force.
Is Hitler leading this?
He is. He's right at the front of this procession of Nazis that's coming into the city.
Wow. What happens?
They arrive right where we are now on the Odeonsplatz. The Bavarian police have been tipped off, and the Bavarian police are right where we are now on this square. There's a gun battle between the Nazis and the Bavarian police. 16 Nazis are killed.
Those killed in the failed coup became martyrs to Hitler's cause, and for the Nazis, this square was a shrine to their memory.
So this is the side of the Feldherrnhalle, which we just saw the front of. This is where the 16 Nazis were shot and killed. And when the Nazis came to power, they erected a tablet on top of the wall here with a swastika and the names of the fallen Nazis. And it was seen as being the duty of the local civilian population that as they were walking past this location, they had to give the Hitler salute.
To avoid saluting, some people showed their resistance to the Nazis by using a side passage as a detour. The route taken is marked in bronze as a tribute to them.
If you were caught doing it, there would be consequences for you. So it's not unlikely that they would have been arrested.
For not saluting?
For not giving the salute. It was seen as being a form of disrespect. You've got the people who made this very passive form of resistance, if you like. The bronze memorial that you can see in the alleyway here is in memory of those people.
Germany was left devastated after World War II. It was estimated that 70% of housing was destroyed and Munich was in ruins. But remarkably, 5 years later, West Germany was booming. Helping the country bounce back was one of Munich's major players, the Bavarian Motor Works, or BMW to you and me. This is part of BMW's success, this thing.
Yeah.
It's very small, it's very different.
It is. This is what made the company successful. They sold many, many, many of these.
Why do you think?
Well, A, it was affordable. B, it had space for 2 people and luggage.
Can I sit in there?
Sure.
Oh, the steering wheel and everything comes down with it. It's very, very basic.
Yeah, it's basic.
This car's impact was massive. It even kick-started a small car revolution in Britain with the arrival of our Mini. Mind you, Mini is now owned by these guys. Whoa! What is this beauty? Woo! Oh, this is beautiful.
It's not just a 507, it's Elvis Presley's 507.
This was owned by Elvis?
Yes.
You are kidding me.
No.
I love this. I'm a big Elvis man.
Well, there you go. That's his car.
Thank you, ma'am. Normally, these pieces of history are for display purposes only, but Christoph has snuck one out and offered to take me for a spin. So, what is this car?
So this is a 1961 3200 CS, it's called, and it's the only convertible of its kind. So this is a one-off car.
This piece of Bavarian engineering was especially made for the owner of the company 61 years ago. And a lot has changed in Munich in those years. That was great. How do I get out the door?
I'll open the door first.
Right. Man, that was wonderful.
I hope you liked it.
I loved it. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.